But okay, here's the story about getting kicked off of The Nutty Professor, directed by Tom Shadyac, starring Eddie Murphy. So it's in the nightclub scene when Dave Chappelle is there and he's performing, and then him and Buddy Love are gonna have words, and it's that scene. So at the time I was a tour guide at Universal Studios, and they were shooting this at Universal Studios in the soundstage at a nightclub setup. So we've been working for that same scene for a couple of days, and every day was the same. It would start out, and we would sit in the holding area for a couple of hours before we would go over. So it's like the third or fourth day, and they go, okay, everyone, business as usual. You're gonna stay in the holding area, and then we're ready to shoot the scene. We're all ready over there. We'll bring you all over. So the girl that was playing my date in the movie, she was also a tour guide at Universal Studios. So we were coupled up.
So you're a patron in the comedy club, and she's your date.
Yeah, we're a couple, and we were right at the front table, like right in front of the stage. So it's Friday when we're filming this, and it's also payday for the tour guides at Universal Studios. So we think we're just going to be sitting in the holding room this whole time. So I was like, why don't we go up and pick up our checks? So we're going to leave the holding area. I'm like, we have Universal Studio IDs. We can go anywhere. So that's what we do. We leave the holding area. We go up and, we're getting our checks. And everyone's like, why are you guys all dressed up? And we're like, oh, we're doing extra work on Nutty Professor. Oh, my God, that's so awesome. All that kind of stuff. We get back down to the holding area. It's empty.
Oh, no.
No one's there.
Dude.
And I was like, fuck, oh, no. So we beat over to the soundstage and we walk in. And people are livid. They're like the casting, like the guy that's wrangling us. He's like, where have you been? And I was like, well, we work as tour guides, so we went to pick up our checks. You can't leave the holding area.
You honestly told them what you did?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
What was I going to say? I don't know what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So I just said that. And I go, you haven't used this for like 4 hours every day. We just thought we had, a half hour to do this. He's like, no, we've been waiting for you. We've been holding the shot, blah, 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 blah. Just going on and on and on and berating us.
And you're in the front of the stage.
Yes.
For continuity, they can't lose you.
Unless they, so.
Well, they can.
They can. And they did.
Yeah.
But so they're not doing it. So there's the front table. It's a table of 4. So the other 2 people are there. And we walk up and we take our seats. And literally, my butt barely hits the chair, and Tom Shadyac yells, "Get out! Get out!" I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Get out!" And we're like, "Oh." So I'm like, so we get up and leave, and we're walking out. And then the casting wrangler who's been berating us is like, "Yeah, you guys are fired." And I was like, "So wait, you held it all this time." You didn't replace us just so we could sit down and you could yell, "Get out." And he goes, yeah. He goes, I'm really going to get in a lot of trouble for this. And my girlfriend's flying in this weekend, and this is going to be a long day now. And I literally said, you know what? Shut up. I said, because if we're fired, then we're done. He's like, yeah, but I need to tell you this. I go, no, we're done. I go, you don't get to continue to berate us. We're done.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we're going to escort you. We have to get security to escort you off the lot. And I go, well. And I pulled out my ID. I go, I work at Universal Studios, so you don't have to escort me.
We're fine.
Yeah. And he's like, and then he was just dumbfounded.
Right. Because they're used to people who kowtow and go, I'm so sorry, please use me again.
I'm like,
and all that shit.
No, you guys fired us. We're done. Okay, we're leaving. But it was so funny. I'm like, they waited all this time. Why didn't they just take 2 extras that were in the back? Just, okay, put them in the front. Who cares? Because that's what they had to do anyway.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand the whole rigmarole of waiting or trying to find us if you weren't going to use us.
When you saw the final cut, I mean, what is seen in?
You just saw tops of. I didn't see any. I didn't see any.
Which means
anyone.
Right, means
they nothing.
It's not going to matter. Who cares?
Get out.
Get out.
Get out.
Get out.